because I'm on PC.
Although you never find out about that, this podcast is different from other podcasts.
I've taken meds. My throat is not as bad this exact second as it has been the last few days, so I am vibing.
And recording.
I'm also, you know what? Crazy fun fact, I'm also recording.
Go fuck yourself. You
Little thing
copied
about
me,
me?
you son of a bitch.
Little thing about me, not a lot of people know this.
Go for it. What do you
I'm not recording,
got? Oh
God.
shit, damn.
but I'm ready to clap.
Oh, okay. I love clapping.
I'm happy and I know it.
Well, guess what you should do?
Clap that ass.
You're happy and you know it. Clap that ass.
I mean, you know there's gonna be like some like shitty like TikToker
I
that's
was
like,
just gonna
did
say-
I just make the song of the summer?
I was just about to say, you know that's some fucking shitty house remix.
Oh yeah.
You know, or it's a drop for something.
Yeah, I feel like if you're happy and you know it, clap your ass has got to have been one of those like annoying TikTok things.
100%.
It's kind of like the A B C D, type.
Yeah.
Like, and honestly, I'll say it. That one, while I personally am not a fan, I think gets a little bit more of a pass for kind of being not the first, but being the least egregious and the first to blow up in that format. And then I feel like everybody else was like, twinkle twinkle little bitch. What? Like what? Where'd you even get that from? Why? Why would you say that?
Yeah, no,
I
that was
think-
like comedically bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like, at least the A B C D E F U. Like I get it.
I think well, it's clever, and it's also I think that the problem I have with it is just like it's just so overplayed.
Oh yeah.
But I think that's the problem with most of these.
And it's also one of those. A lot of people are like, "You really did something here."
Yeah.
Let's not go that far.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa, hey, but maybe I really did something here.
Now I really did something here with it. If you're happy and you know it, clap that ass.
I am only hearing that as like the you get the build up and then like that's the fucking drop right before in like the middle of a dubstep fucking thing. Like that's how I have to hear that.
I believe it. All right, I have a beware and warning for you guys.
Oh, God.
Okay.
This podcast is different from other podcasts. You and you alone, all caps, are in charge of what happens in this story.
Holy shit.
This
Us?
is for not for the listeners. This is for Noah and Dan.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
okay. Yeah, fuck
there
you,
are
listeners. It's
there
me
are
and Dan's show.
dangers,
What?
choices, adventures, and
Jackson, I signed up for a
consequences.
podcast because I'm afraid of conflict and danger.
That's
there's
true.
consequences.
I signed up for a podcast with 3 white men because I'm afraid of conflict and danger. Sorry. Okay, go on.
You must use all your numerous talents. Okay. I didn't write the warning, obviously. And much of your... And again, I didn't write this. And much of your enormous intelligence.
Oh my
I definitely
God.
didn't write this.
Thank
the
you,
wrong
Jackson.
decision could end in a disaster, even death.
I call
don't
that a
despair.
Tuesday.
At any time, you can go back and make another choice after the path of your story and change its result. You and your best friend Carlo.
Dan, when did you change
You
your
guys
name?
remember- No, you guys remember Carlos? Carlos, the fourth member of the podcast. Don't you
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
remember?
yeah. I
Oh
remember
God,
Carlos.
I keep.
Yeah, you
this is
guys and your
embarrassing.
best friend
I've
Carlos.
never unmuted his microphone.
Oh, dang it. Oh, buddy.
You kept Carlos muted all this time.
Sorry, Carlos.
5 years. Sorry, Carlos.
God, this is so awkward.
Whoops.
You and your best friend Carlos have traveled to Nepal in search of the fabled Yeti or abominable snowman.
I can't have both.
I guess they are mutually exclusive. And you're looking for either or.
You'll take
Last
what you
year,
can get.
well, the two of you were mountain climbing in South America. You guys remember that episode?
Oh, I
Oh,
remember
that was
that.
a
Yeah.
cool episode.
Yeah, we all went mountain climbing with Carlos.
Honestly,
our
it's one of
best
the
friend.
coolest things that we've ever done.
Yeah. Fishing
We
episode?
should've talked
Wow.
about
It's a
that on
true
the-
shame
I-
that we lost all the
Yeah.
audio.
Well, why didn't we talk about that at all? You would have thought that came up at some point in time.
You know, it just
Um,
really it felt like never really a good time, you know?
Well,
Mhm.
last year when you were climbing the mountains, you remember a guide told you about the legendary creature, and you haven't stopped thinking about the Yeti since.
That's true.
We've been talking about the Yeti so much.
Honestly.
Carlos arrived and went straight to the mountains when a Yeti sighting was reported.
You know, I think that we keep bringing up the Mothman instead of the Yeti by accident.
Oh
I
my
do
God,
feel
it's so easy to mistake the two.
Guys, I've got some bad news though.
Oh,
Oh, no.
okay.
Carlos
okay.
hasn't been heard from in 3 days.
What the
Damn.
fuck? That
He
actually
was
would
also
explain
like,
why he
monsoon
hasn't been
why-
weighing
storm.
in recently.
I wondered
I
why
know.
he wasn't here today. Yeah.
Yeah, a late monsoon storm has moved in and the mountains are almost impassable. You know Carlos will depend on you to do the right thing, but what is it?
Well, you know what? I think I know the right thing.
All right, so
Jackson,
this
read
is
the prompt for the right thing, please.
so true. So we are doing the Choose Your Own Adventure book. That is the Beware and Warning intro. This is the Abominable Snowman. If you listened to the last episode, you knew this was happening. Maybe. Or maybe you really didn't. Maybe you like heard it and was like, weird joke. Joke's on you. Wasn't a joke. It's real.
Hell yeah.
I cannot tell you how excited I am for this.
You are a mountain climber. 3 years ago, you spent a summer at a climbing school in the mountains of Colorado. Your instructor said that you had natural skills as a climber. You made rapid progress, and by the end of the summer, you were leading difficult rock and ice climbs. That summer, you became close friends, and this is, with a boy named Carlos. Everyone remembers Carlos.
Of course, we remember Carlos.
Our best friend.
It's weird to
The
act
two of
like
you
we
made a
wouldn't
good
remember.
climbing team. Last year, you and he were chosen to join an international team. The expedition made it to the top of 2 unclimbed peaks in South America. One night on that expedition, the group was seated around the cook tent at the base camp. The expedition leader, Franz, told stories of climbing in the Himalayas, the highest mountains in the world. And it just got an image of the Himalayan mountains.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that, so.
I don't think it's a real image. I think it's just like
An
very
AI-generated
crude drawing
image
even.
of the mountains.
I don't think that this book that came out 40 years ago was really on that.
You
The
know,
Himalayas form a great natural wall between India and China, with Nepal tucked in amid the peaks. Everest, K2, and Annapurna are the best-known mountains in the Himalayas.
can I
Name 3 more.
can I drop a real oh my god a real quick disclaimer here?
Oh really? Name every
Name every
one.
Himalaya. I would just like to, because I believe that we're probably going to find something in here, right? I would like to point out, just for our listeners as a fair warning, these books were mostly written in the 40s.
Oh yeah, that's
No,
very
it was like
important.
the 70s, wasn't it?
No, I looked it up. There's like, most of these books were written in the 40s and 50s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Cyberspace Warrior, Choose Your Own Adventure number 154 was released in 44.
Dang, these are old.
So I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that many of these are quite old. The most recent one that I'm seeing was from we got something from the 90s and stuff, but a lot of these are like old. I don't know how old Jackson's is, but just as a fair little thing that we put out while Dan and I stall for time and look up the other names of the Himalayan mountains.
Nope, I'm not looking up anything.
You deadbeat.
All right. So, where was I? These and many other peaks have been climbed. Still others lie in remote areas where few humans have gone. There, said Franz, in the high valleys beneath the snowfields, lives the Yeti, sometimes called the Abominable Snowman. So they are the same, but they lied to us on page 1.
That's pretty cringe. I don't like being lied to.
I don't
The
mind
Yeti
being lied
is
to,
said
I just
to be
get
a
resentful.
huge beast, Franz tells you.
Ooh.
Perhaps a cross between a gorilla and a human.
Perhaps.
People cannot agree to what it is.
I
And then
personally
Carlos, you
think
guys
it's the
remember when
Abominable
Carlos said
Snowman.
this? Carlos was like, "Is the Yeti dangerous?"
I remember him asking that, and frankly, I
Yeah.
thought it was stupid at the time, but, you know.
So true. Franz shrugged. Some say it is. Other people say the Yeti is very gentle.
Aw.
And then, of course, you asked, "Have you ever seen one?" No,
I'd be asking
almost no
stuff.
one has. The best proof of the Yeti's existence is a set of very large footprints discovered in the 1950s by a British expedition. No one has ever
1950s.
photographed one that I have heard, but still the stories persist. You and Carlos decided then and there to find the Yeti. When you returned from South America, the two of you raised money from the International Foundation for Research into Strange Phenomena. I guess you can get money from them.
It was,
Your
frankly,
goal?
it was the biggest win we've ever had as a podcast, is
Proof
raising that money.
positive that the Yeti exists. You will find that photograph and the Yeti.
Hell yeah, we will. Or we
Find
did, I
and
mean.
photograph the Yeti. That is what brings you to Kathmandu, the capital of Nepal. Your problems, though, have already begun. 2 days ago, Carlos left by helicopter to look over the terrain near Mount Everest. The helicopter returned without him. The pilot told you that Carlos decided to stay up at the Everest base camp to check out a report that the Yeti had been seen. He had a radio transmitter, but you have received no word from him. The weather turned bad and radio communication was interrupted. You have an appointment to speak with R.N. Runal, the Director of Expeditions and Mountain Research, an authority on the Yeti. He knows of your plans. You need his help with official permits for the expedition. He will also have good advice and information. But what about Carlos? All right, this is the first decision of the book.
Okay.
All right, I'm ready.
Do you decide to cancel your meeting with Runal and search for Carlos? Or do you feel that Carlos is okay and go ahead and meet with Runal?
So, I mean, I'm going to say it.
Two,
If you go on Everest, you know the risks, and I know
this is
Carlos...
your best friend.
Hey. He is my best friend, but, he knew the risk going up to the base camp.
Don't you tell me who my best friend is, okay? We know.
It's Carlos.
It's Carlos, obviously.
Yeah, we all know.
It's really fucked up of you to act like we've forgotten somehow, honestly.
I think we got to hold this meeting because, honestly, the meeting will get us to the base camp sooner than just going right to the base camp, in my mind, with, the equipment that we need.
I do kind of feel like we should at least hold the meeting. Like, what's the worst that'll happen? Besides, like, the man turns out to be evil and tries to kill us or whatever. But
well, I mean, Carlos could die.
Listen.
Yeah, that's right. I'm
He's your best
flip-flopping
friend.
my stance now.
He's your best friend.
He is my best friend, but at this point, look, I need the best. If I want the best possible chance to find him, I gotta go. I feel like we gotta do the meeting.
Yeah, I'm going for the meeting.
So you guys think Carlos is okay?
I think
no. Let's be clear. I do not think Carlos is okay.
But I think he's okay long enough for us to meet with the authority on the mountains.
Exactly.
Right.
I feel if we don't go see Carlos,
we're meeting with Runal.
We're meeting with Runal.
Okay. You walk down a street bordered by tall pines. They are green-blue, and the branches and needles have a very fine and delicate texture. A little strange. Hanging from the upper branches are what looks like huge, tear-shaped, blackish-brown fruit. You stop and look up, wondering what they are. Then one moves, spreads its giant wings, and flaps off. They are bats, the largest bats you've ever seen.
That's sick as hell.
That is.
You reach the foreign ministry, and you are shown to a waiting room. You wait a few minutes, and then are ushered in to meet R.N. Runal, Director of Expeditions and Mountain Research for the Nepalese government. Welcome to our country. We wish you success. But I have some bad news. The expedition you have proposed could be very dangerous. You look at him, not knowing what to expect. You don't know what to expect.
That's true.
I know you thought you knew what to expect. You don't know what to expect.
We don't know.
I thought he was going to say, go for it, it's safe. But now I don't even know.
Recently, a large expedition set out without telling us that they were going after the Yeti, says Runal. They used guns and traps and tried to kill one of them. The Yeti are angry. Mr. Runal, this is you talking.
Oh,
Mr.
Yes.
Runal.
Yeah,
we just want to find a Yeti. We have no intention of ever hurting a Yeti.
True.
I know that. We have checked up on you. It is a shame about the others. I must advise against going into Yeti territory. I could arrange a trip for you into the Terai region, out of the mountains, in the jungle area. You could photograph and study the tigers. They are famous, and also dangerous.
Wait.
Later, perhaps, you could conduct the expedition you are leading. And there's a picture of tigers.
I feel like
tigers.
So now we get another choice.
I don't care about the tigers.
You can decide to go ahead with the expedition for the Yeti, or you can decide to postpone the expedition to let the Yeti calm down and go on to the Terai in search of tigers.
No, fuck the tigers. We're
Here's
here
the
for
thing.
Yetis.
Our friend Carlos is up there and in danger. We got to start the expedition to save our best friend.
Yeah, our best friend Carlos.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're gonna keep going for Carlos.
Yeah, we're going for Carlos.
I feel like it's the obvious choice. Like,
Yeah.
if you go pick the tigers, like, come on, you know way the story.
I can see the
you're
tigers
just
year
ditching your
round.
friend.
It's probably like you went and took pictures of tigers at the end.
Yeah.
All right.
Honestly, it's probably you went to go take pictures of tigers and got eaten by tigers at the end.
I appreciate your warning and kind offer for the alternative to go to Terai, you say. We are committed to this expedition. We will search for the Yeti with openness and friendship.
I remember
You
Dan
guys are
saying that.
I would
Dan said
never
that.
say that.
R.N.
wanna be
Runal
clear.
nods his head and speaks quickly to his assistant in Nepali. Within minutes, you have the necessary papers for the expedition, stamped in the proper places with the official seal of the Nepalese government. As you shake hands before leaving, he stops you. If you are determined to go on your expedition, it could be easier and safer if I come with you. What should you do? Having a government official along with you might just cause delays and bureaucratic snafus. On the other hand, he could also smooth the way. Do you want this guy to come with you? Or not?
Nah, dude, we don't need some
Bureaucrat?
some fucking narc.
Because I mean, like, he could cut the red tape for us, but what if he brings the red tape with him? Know what I'm
What if
saying?
he
So
is?
we're-
I
so
kind
we're
of am assuming
declining
he
the
is.
offer.
Yeah,
I
he-
think
he
we're
is
the loose
red
cannon
tape.
cops that we're trying to play by the rules, but we make our own rules. You know?
Yeah, so true,
Yeah.
so true.
So true, bestie.
All right, Mr. Renault shakes your hand, but he does not smile. It is clear that you have offended this man. What should you do?
Whatever.
Is an apology in order, or should you try and patch things up? You can make amends by inviting him, or you can stick to your decision.
Oh, we're
Hey,
not making it. I'll apologize, but I'm not gonna
Yeah.
invite him.
No, it's frankly, I don't think he's going to appreciate us trying to save our best friend. You know?
Yeah,
Alright.
I don't think he like really sees the stakes here like we do.
You leave Runal's office. As you walk outside, you are hit with torrential rain. It falls from the sky, hitting the earth in explosive drops. You planned your expedition assuming the monsoons would be over by now, but apparently they are not. You sit out in your hotel for 3 weeks. The constant rain has closed off the trails to the mountain valleys with mudslides and boulders. Nature has gone wild and your expedition is blocked for good. Too bad. Try again next season.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
The end.
I would like to use my magic MacGuffin. I forgot to tell you guys I brought it with me. I would like to rewind and invite him with us.
Because he will stop the rain.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're
I
gonna
really,
go.
I really like they said Mother Nature said no.
Mother
That
Nature really kind of a jerk
Alright, so
for
we
that
are
one.
you were going to apologize and invite Runal to join the squad.
Yeah, he can come with us as long as he's chill. Is he chill?
If he's not, then the story's over.
Yeah, if he's
That-
not,
you know
then
what?
the
That's fair.
storms wipe us out, or we
But
can
you'll
go get
each-
tigers.
Go get.
I will allow the
Tigers.
run back, one run back each.
That seems fair.
And that may include me. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how bad things go.
We'll see.
Mr. Runal, I beg your pardon, sir. I have made a mistake. This is your country, and we need your help. Please do accompany us. It will be our honor and pleasure. That's you guys.
Jesus.
Yeah, I remember saying that.
Can we kiss this man's ass any harder?
You otherwise will get stuck in the rain.
So the answer is no.
The answer is no. This is exactly how hard you can and will and are able to. And there is no other option because your dialogue is written. The room is silent. You shift nervously. You do, I saw, and stare out the window at the palace grounds and the formal gardens. Runal does not respond right away. He fiddles with a pencil on his desk, deep in thought. I appreciate the kind offer. I can only accept if you allow me the great honor of being expedition leader.
Man, if it weren't for the
you
fact that I
allow-
know the monsoon's gonna sink us.
If you will allow this, I may be able to arrange for funds from the government as well as tactical support from the Royal Nepalese Army, including helicopters.
Oh
This
shit.
catches you by surprise. You are the leader. Do you want him to be the leader? Or do you want to point out that it won't be possible?
I mean, Mance can call himself the leader all he wants.
Yeah, I'm ready to disobey our quote unquote leader if I need to.
100%.
Alright, so we're going to let him be the leader?
Sure.
I,
he's the
I
leader.
guess so.
Wait, no, what are you thinking?
Well, I mean, if we tell him no, then he's just gonna summon the weather again.
So essentially, you just let this man power play you.
Yeah.
So he's the... Okay, so he's
I
the
mean,
new
he
leader?
runs the weather. There's not much I can do.
What are we supposed to do? Yeah.
That's pretty true.
How do we stop a man who runs the weather? You don't. You just accept that that's what the life is going to be now.
Alright. Okay, Mr. Renal, you will lead the expedition. I'm sure our goals are the same. We can use the support of your government.
No, I didn't
Sure.
say
Renal's
that.
No, there's no
Renal's
no-
connection within the government turned out to be
Totally
very useful. Soon the expedition has better supplies and equipment than you would have been able to get on your own. His knowledge about the Yeti proves to be useful. Arrangements for a helicopter to the base camp at Mount Everest are made. Maybe it's best to have him lead. It's his land, and he knows it well. Yeah, good job, colonizers. You let him lead, so I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
You didn't want to.
I'm
Or
feeling
maybe not.
attacked.
We'll see what happens. All right. Fun fact: this just brought us right back to where we would have gone if you would have just right away been like, "Yeah, man."
Yeah, man. Sure.
All right. Now that he's a member of your expedition, Runal sends out a government team to set up your base camp and find Carlos. Success! Carlos is found and rejoins you.
Oh, thank God.
Your best friend, Carlos, has been
Hey,
found.
Carlos. That was fast.
Runal turns out to be an excellent team member. 6 porters carry your food and tents and supplies. This leaves you free to explore the steep valley sides and the small villages along the way. The days are long, beginning at first light and going until sunset. Your legs ache from the constant pounding, and you walk around the narrow trails which have served the Nepalese people for hundreds of years. Above you are bright blue skies dotted with clouds. The snow and ice flanks of Lhotse, Pumori, and Everest rise above the green of the lower slopes. Wow. And then there's like an image of you guys walking on a trail.
I mean, I remember.
I always remember.
It was pretty cool.
As you approach a village, Renal points out a large building with a red roof which stands above the small, neat houses clustered around it. That's the monastery where there lives a monk, a Buddhist monk, who has lived with the Yeti.
That's cool for him. Maybe the Buddhist monk who lived with the Yeti would know how to talk to him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Renal answers, a well-kept secret. Those who share the secret knowledge of the Yeti are pledged to reveal this knowledge only to appointed people. You and you alone are one of the appointed. It has been seen in the stars. It has been read in your hand. What do you mean? Who saw it in the stars? Who read it in my hand?
Yeah, who read my hand? I don't remember that.
Runal does not answer for several minutes.
It's a little awkward.
It's a long time. Then he speaks. If you accept the secret knowledge, your life will change. You will never be the same. Decide now. Alright, and another decision. If you're ready for the secret knowledge of the Yeti, and the responsibility that goes with it, turn to page 40. If you reject the offer of secret knowledge, turn to page 116.
Hey, you know what? If
I'm ready for
Howard
secret
Pissboy Lovecraft has taught me anything, it's that there's never an issue with gaining extra knowledge.
Correct. That's exactly what I was thinking.
So we're going to get the knowledge of the Yeti?
Absolutely.
Oh, without a doubt.
Alright. Come with me. He leads you to the monastery. Carlos stays behind. Ooh, unlucky. He's your best friend after.
Carlos didn't want the secret knowledge, clearly.
And frankly,
You and Renal
Carlos is
enter the
kind
monastery.
of fake for that.
Carlos
That's so
kind of
true.
a piss baby for that, though?
I don't think he said that. Renal said you and you alone.
Mm.
So
Oh,
he
that's
meant
true.
you two and you two alone.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
You and Renal enter the monastery through a huge wooden door. It is dark inside, but you make out the figure of an old man seated on the floor. Behind him is a statue of Buddha. So true.
So true. So true.
The man welcomes you and motions you to sit before him. You see that he is wearing the robes of a monk. You are served yak butter tea, a thick
Ooh.
broth that you find hard to swallow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Listen well with heart, head, and body. Listen with eyes more than ears. Heed the cry of the Yeti, the old monk tells you. Oh, he's old. Okay, let me do that one again. Listen well with the heart, head, and body. Listen with the eyes more than the ears. Heed the cry of the Yeti, the old monk tells you. You can hear bells in the distance and wind in the pine trees just outside the window. It is beautiful. Objectively. Clearly. You sit for what seems like hours, listening with your whole being. Finally, the monk speaks. They're just like letting you sit around a lot.
It's kind of
Hanging
cool
out.
of them, honestly.
A lot of awkward pauses in Nepal, I guess. Time now to go on to the next journey. This is getting weird. A continuation of a journey you're already on, he replies. If you agree to take the journey, turn to this page. If you decide that you are not prepared to change your life forever, turn to a different one.
I mean,
ready.
I'm always ready to change my life
I'm always
forever.
ready to change my life forever. No questions.
So we're
here.
taking the journey?
Absolutely.
Alright. Brunel is still with you. He taps you on the shoulder, and you rise to follow him to the back of the monastery behind the golden Buddha. The heavy smell of rose-scented incense fills the air. The Yeti are guides to Shangri-La. They take the chosen people to this hidden valley, which many have heard and only a few have seen. You nod, because of course, wondering what comes next. One last chance, my friend. Turn back now and live a normal life with your friend Carlos, or go ahead and accept the life of the secret world.
I
Do you
mean,
abandon Carlos?
I mean, I feel like at this point we're already in. You know, like what?
I
It's
feel
weird that they keep telling us that we should just leave.
Do you want to go on to the secret world,
I should do.
or do you want to go see Carlos?
I kind of want to go on to the secret world. I mean, Carlos is cool and all, but he did
Carlos is my best friend.
try to jumpstart this expedition without us.
He did abandon you first.
That's
And
true.
frankly,
You know what?
I'm
He
worried that
did.
Carlos is going to do it again. So I'm going to abandon him before he can abandon me.
That's such a good way to not get hurt in life.
It's true.
Anyway, Runal taps 3 times on the back of the Buddha near a spot where the skull and neck join. It makes a clanging sound like cymbals being struck. Awesome.
Neat.
Before you stands a 7-foot tall being with broad shoulders and huge feet. His face is gentle and kind. You are not frightened. Runal introduces him. This is Zodak. He is your special guide. Follow him. He will take you where you must go.
Oh man.
Can I say goodbye to Carlos? It is not usual. I do not advise it. It might upset him and you. However, if you wish, go and say farewell.
Oh, fuck Carlos.
You can say goodbye to Carlos, or
Nah,
you
dude.
can...
Listen. Like Noah said, abandon him first.
We're abandoning Carlos?
Fuck Carlos. All my
Yeah.
homies hate Carlos.
Alright, so we're going to this page. Zodak, Zodak, obviously being your Yeti companion, it would appear. Zodak, you just kind of gave up on the whole taking a picture of the Yeti thing. Pretty easily.
Now we don't need to take a picture.
You're going to like the promised land. Zodak motions you to follow. He takes one giant step into the air. You look with amazement as he hovers a meter off the ground. Then you step up into the air, and you too are suspended above the floor of the monastery. You are levitating.
Holy shit.
You know, I hadn't noticed until he said it, but I'm glad he pointed it out.
Whoosh! The two of you zoom out of the monastery, right through the walls, up into the sky. You travel at unimaginable speeds. You climb at a dizzying pace until the two of you stand below, on top of the sharp, icy crest of Mount Everest. Below you stretch glaciers, mountains, valleys.
You
See
know,
the world from the top.
we didn't talk about this trip, but I do seem to remember us talking about going to Nepal and doing drugs. Maybe this is what happens.
You know, that would make more sense.
Zodak points to a narrow slot. Zodak points to a narrow slot near the topmost point of Mount Everest. He says, "That is the route to Shangri-La." He takes 3 steps, enters the slot, and disappears from sight. Alright. You take one last look at the earth about you. You see the clouds rolling up from the flat, dry plains of the Punjab in India. You see the curve of the earth. You see the contrail of an airplane far to the south. If only they knew it was actually a chemtrail.
It says that in the book.
You step into a narrow chute. It's warm, glistening with the shine of a metal unknown to you. You hover in space in the narrow metal tube. In truth, you are moving at a great speed down through the center of Everest. There's a rose-colored glow around you. Where is Zodak? Some guide, you think, leaving me alone. What's next? What a hater, honestly.
What a hater!
This freaking Zodak guy left my ass.
Fucking dipped, idiot.
Alright. With a gentle bump, you come to rest. In front of you is a clear glass door. You push it open. There stands Zodak.
Oh, that's right.
Come. Welcome to Shangri-La. You walk out into a dark green valley surrounded by low-lying hills. In the distance are high mountains. One of them looks like Everest. You hear music unlike any other music you've ever heard before. It's ska. It is somewhat like the sound of the monastery, the bells and the wind. The sunlight is warm and relaxing. Zodak leads you down a long trail to a 7-story building. It seems to be a fortress, but it is painted white and red and gold. There are no soldiers, no guns, only people who smile and greet you as though you are an old friend. It seems so natural. You turn to Zodak and you get a shock. His form has changed. Now he is a mirror image of you. What does this mean? That's a good question.
That is
That's
such a
honest.
good question. I'm kind of drawing a blank as to what that
Why
could
does he
mean.
look like me?
Is he trying to steal my identity?
Although you never find out about that.
What? Does it say that?
That's the next line.
Oh.
What could this mean? Well, you never learn that, but...
I'm not kidding. He says his form has changed and now he's a mirror image of you. What does this mean? Although you never find out about that, you learn many things as you stay in the valley. You have the chance to try many activities you never could before, but only what is available in the valley. You learn to be contented within the limits of the small valley. Second thoughts?
I feel like...
What the hell?
Wait, that's
Is that
it?
One
That's
the
it?
end?
last... Not yet. I got one more page.
Okay.
One last chance? Is that it? Is that what you want? Okay, you're on. Out of the valley of Shangri-La and back to the real world. Is it different? Can you do whatever you want? Can you fulfill your dreams? Can you enjoy your life completely? Or must you be content within limits? The end.
Jesus
You know what? That
Christ.
really was forbidden knowledge, wasn't it?
I
Yeah.
think that actually is the good ending.
Frankly,
That's as
not
good of an
like-
ending as you can get.
Not the good ending, but that's like you literally attained inner peace and went to paradise.
yeah. Like, even if it's not supposed to be the good ending, that's a great ending, in theory.
Yeah, I don't know why the book's kind of like mad at you for it.
However, let's be real here. We're here to
Find a Yeti.
to fuck a Yeti. So
Wait, yes. Hold on.
Honestly, I don't even know where
How far
the
back you have to
last
go?
decision point was.
It would be the. I think it would be the second thoughts about
It's-
going back and talking to Carlos.
That's true.
I think we can't abandon Carlos.
Okay, so I have found the page in which you find Carlos again.
Okay.
So we're gonna do a Noah. Can you do like a little record scratch or something? Perfect. Please don't add anything in after the fact.
oh god.
All right. You walk out of the room. The Yeti, Zodak. You know, you guys remember the Yeti.
Yeah.
Zodak.
Yeah.
You
Zodak
can
the Yeti.
shapeshift, but you never learn about that.
We can't talk about that one.
What does this mean? You never learn.
You never find out. I like the idea
Yeti.
that that's just his permanent. That's what he looks like from then on. Like from that moment forward, he just looks like
Maybe, but you don't learn anything else about it.
that.
Mhm.
Never find out.
Carlos stands outside, as he was when you left him. He is frozen in time. He can't
Whoa.
hear you, nor can you hear him. You have become a part of a different world. You start to realize some of the consequences of your decision to go to Shangri-La. You say a quiet goodbye to Carlos, even though he cannot hear you, and follow Zoldak back into the monastery.
Oh, okay. So it wouldn't matter. So we have to go back one further than that. Then.
And then, so we have to go back even further. So all you can do is see Carlos dying. The only problem is it doesn't tell you how to get back to where you were.
Oh
Definitely
shit.
got here. Okay. So here's when he touched the statue and
I think it has to be before that. I think it has to be when we ask for forbidden knowledge.
no, because if you ask for forbidden knowledge, it ends.
If you
I
say
think
if you say
yeah,
no to the forbidden
you guys
knowledge,
got to the farthest point that you can. If so, like there's a map on the back of it, and there's like two choices in the beginning. And
wait,
you
there's
got
a
to
map on the back of
farthest-
it.
Yeah.
Oh,
of,
that's
the
cool.
Decisions, and you went all the way down to the bottom of the one route. So you went as far down as you could. in
Oh,
this
so
route.
we made it to an ending.
So I think the difference is if you even go to meet Runal in the first place.
Oh wow.
Oh my
Because
god.
like half the things he does are like, let me be your team leader, and if you say no, it's over. And if you say yes, but then change your mind, it's over. And then like if you say no to secret knowledge, it's over. And if you say like every other choice would have ended.
What you're telling me is you can't trust the government, and we shouldn't have in the first place.
No, I'm saying there's 5 endings that are at the absolute bottom of the structure, like that are at the bottom of the map,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, we did
So like
great.
it is equally tied with any of the other options.
I would like to propose. I would like to use my MacGuffin that I also brought.
What?
And I listen, it was on this expedition. I knew we were going to need it. I would like to go back and not go talk to the fucking feds.
So you want to cancel your meeting with Runal and search for Carlos
We're going to go find
on
Carlos
the very
ourselves.
beginning?
Oh my
we don't,
god.
We don't need no feds.
You have an appointment to speak with R.N. Runal, the Director of Expeditions and Mountain Research and an authority on the Yeti. He knows of your plans. You need his help with official permits for the expedition. He will also have good advice and information. But what about Carlos? Okay, so you can choose to either cancel your meeting and search for Carlos, or you can feel that Carlos is okay and go ahead with your meeting.
I mean, the official permits sound like a pretty good advance, right?
I got to be honest though. I don't trust the feds. I feel like it's going to make like yeah, we need official permits, but do we really? Do you really?
I mean, Carlos didn't need him. He just kind of went.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
how did Carlos get there, actually?
Honestly,
Carlos
nothing but
just
respect
did
to
it.
my best friend Carlos.
He is your best friend.
We should probably try and do what would Carlos do?
Get lost.
WWC WWCD.
WWCD, let's go to Carlos first and make a reckless decision alone.
All right. You telephone Mr. Runal at the Forward Ministry. This is an emergency, Mr. Runal. My friend Carlos is missing at base camp. I need help right now. Of course, I understand. Please allow me the honor of coming with you. I know the region well.
I thought we weren't going to go see him.
You gladly accept the help of Mr. Runal. His reputation as a mountaineer is excellent. He's able to arrange for a Royal Nepalese Army helicopter to meet you at the Tribhuhaven airport. 2 hours later, you land at the Everest base camp where Carlos was last seen. His red nylon mountain tent is still there, but the storm has erased all footprints. Most reports of the Yeti have them well below base camp, but it is possible that they are up this high. Mr. Runal says as the two of you stand by the tent, looking at the glacier and the high peaks. So you can search the base camp with Runal in the valley, or you can go above the base camp.
Here's the thing. I know Carlos.
He's your best friend.
My best friend, Carlos. Carlos, listen, we love Carlos. Carlos has always been, going against the grain this whole time.
Yeah, kind of a further up and further in kind of guy.
Exactly. I don't see any world in which he's going down where the people say they saw,
Oh, sorry, I misheard. The decision is you can search below the base camp in the valley or above the base camp.
Above the base
that's
camp.
What it is.
Is what I think.
Even though he said all the Yeti sightings are below the base camp?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Okay.
I'm just saying that I think that's where Carlos would be.
Exactly.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, above the base camp are the dangerous seracs. These huge blocks of ice are always moving, and people climbing through this maze of ice are in constant danger. Runal leads the way. You both have crampons on your boots. A slender red and yellow nylon rope with links just the two of you. It's a safety rope. Watch out! Jump! A block of ice quivers and tumbles to the side, sending clouds of snow and ice crystals in the air. Runal had seen it just in time. You move more slowly now, wary of these treacherous seracs.
Thank God we have
on the
Runal.
backside of us. Yes, thank God. On the backside of a serac, as a large two-story house, you find him. Carlos is sitting in the sun, fidgeting with his camera. Hey, what are you guys doing here?
What are you guys done here?
That's
Carlos,
what we
what the
want to
fuck,
know.
man?
You scared us to death with your disappearing act. What's up? That's you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carlos puts the camera away, and, after you introduce him to Runal, explains that he found tracks, Yeti tracks perhaps, and followed them. He tried to radio, but the weather blocked it. The tracks faded, and he couldn't find his way back to the camp. He had been sitting and waiting. Runal examines one track, protected from drifting snow, and explains that they are blue bear tracks, and not Yeti tracks. So disappointed, you go back to the helicopter and return to Kathmandu.
The fuck is a blue bear?
I don't know, I make the rules. The next day, you go to the top of Sanji Podang Sorba, you go to the shop of Sanji Podang Sorba, a well-known Sherpa guide. Carlos stays with Runal, getting the permits. You enter the store, and there, behind the counter, stacked with dried food in plastic bags, tanks of gas for mountain stoves, and wool hats, is Sanji Sorba. You introduce yourself, and immediately you like this man. He is warm and friendly, and recently he has been with the Japanese expedition to Pamori and a French Everest attempt. Maybe you should ask him to join you as you search for the Yeti. Do you want to ask him to join along, or do you want to wait and decide to talk it over with Carlos?
Does Carlos really, know what he's doing?
He did get lost.
He got lost so fast.
He did get lost.
So what do you want to do? Do you want to ask Sanji to come along? Or do you want to wait and talk it over with Carlos?
I don't think we can talk it over with Carlos. I think Carlos will be fine. I think that what Carlos doesn't know won't hurt us,
Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and offer.
Yeah.
Yeah, just bring the guy along.
All right. How about joining us on our search for the Yeti, Sanji? He smiles and hesitates. Then he picks up 2 sticks of incense. One is longer than the other. He lights them both, and their rich fragrance fills the air of his small store. You see, as one fragrance merges with the other, we do not know the difference between them. Only when the shorter stick burns out will we know which stick was the fragrance of rose, and which was the fragrance of magnolia. You are puzzled by his talk of incense. You ask, so what does that mean, Sanji? It does not mean anything. It only is. You are really confused now. What to do?
I'm sure I am.
Perhaps you should leave this talk of incense alone and forget about asking Sanji to join you. Maybe he's crazy. So you can back out of the offer, or you can persist and try to understand his point.
Oh, he's not crazy. He's just weird.
Yeah.
I don't think he's crazy. Listen, he's trying to tell us something.
So you want to persist and try to understand his point?
Well,
or do you want to back out of the offer and say,
you know what they say about being open-minded, right?
Whatever.
Sometimes you're so open-minded your brain falls out.
That's
no,
true.
I've never heard that in my life.
Really? I knew
Yeah.
a few shitty people that said that. I think whatever. We don't need his help. We can get the Yeti ourselves.
So Dan, what do you think?
I'm willing to listen. If Noah feels strongly about this, I'm willing to let him run the show.
All right. I don't think I understand. Before you come with us, I'd better talk with my partner. He's not far away. I'll go find him now. If I don't come back, don't wait for me.
Don't come back! Don't wait for me! Holy shit!
We can tell that was Dan
move
saying
slowly.
that one.
You move slowly towards the door.
We just went to the bathroom and took our fucking phone and wallet with us.
You move slowly toward the door. The incense smoke gets dense. In an instant, it is so thick that you can't find the door. Gradually, you lose consciousness and drift into a lifelong coma. The end.
What the fuck?
Holy shit! A lifelong coma.
You die.
You fucking died. Nice going, Noah. I should never have trusted you.
That's true.
I should have known better.
That's the Choose Your Adventure book for you. Danger lurks around every corner.
That's true. You know what? Danger did in fact lurk around every corner. Every single corner.
You thought maybe this corner had no danger?
Surprise, danger.
No way.
Damn. That's rough. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty rough.
So much danger.
All right. So that is our Choose Your Adventure book.
Yeah.
Man, we never found a Yeti.
We
did. You found a Yeti and he took you to paradise.
Oh, that's right.
On the first try.
Oh, that's right. We got the good ending.
Yeah. You went through Mount Everest in a mysterious aluminum tube.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like one of those pneumatic tubes at the bank. You just go up and boom. Then we went to paradise.
Yeah.
But yeah, the decision that put you on the path to failure for this one was going up from the base camp.
Damn. That's rough.
Damn.
We did find Carlos, though. I was right.
I think Carlos is also south of the base camp.
You know what? That makes sense. Carlos, that son of a bitch.
Just like he was at the base camp the one time.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, Carlos kind of freaks me out a little bit. He's everywhere.
Carlos exists in several different states, and your decision
Schrodinger's Carlos
alters the reality of where Carlos is. Your best friend.
There's like a shimmery image of him in all three locations until we arrive at one of them. Then the other two cease to exist.
Classic Carlos, honestly.
He does that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not enough people talk about that. So yeah,
Good. I mean, honestly, good job. You got the Shangri-La ending, which is the one that, as a kid, stuck out to me as like the best ending because it put you at peace with the Yeti.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas there are some endings where you can like get killed by the Yeti or like even kill the Yeti and like bring it back or whatever. I believe. But this one actually, you got to the one where the Yeti takes you to
paradise,
the afterlife, essentially.
I won't lie to you. Of all the options, I didn't see that as a
flying with the Yeti to the top of Mount Everest and getting magically thrown into a metal tube that takes you down to a valley of eternal happiness.
Yeah, that was not on my card.
Yeah, me neither. Well, good thing you never get to find out why he can shapeshift.
And why he chooses to take on your...
You never learn
face.
more about... I love that like, even the book acknowledges, that's weird, and then goes...
Don't worry about it. Too bad you never find out.
What a strange thing that you'll never learn more about.
I forgot how much I do have a amount of joy that these books bring that I won't lie, I had forgotten.
They're genuinely fun.
That was fun. I apologize for being a hater last week and saying that I didn't think it was a good idea.
Yeah, this is great. I had a blast with this.
They're just like corny ass like old stories.
Yeah.
But they're fun. As a kid, I liked flipping through them and just looking at all the different endings.
Yeah.
Whenever you see a picture of like angry Yetis,
I always feel like they had really good art, and I do kind of wish that we could have gotten some of that like in an audio medium. But
yeah, the art is kind of not important, but it's like it adds to the
vibe,
enjoyment to just see like the crusty art.
Yeah. Nice work, guys. We did it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that we need to do, or is this before we?
I did watch a movie earlier today.
Okay. I didn't know how if we wanted to just cut this
I
short
mean,
or.
we got like
No, we don't want to cut
could
this
like
short. We don't want to do a short episode. We can keep
Oh, okay.
going.
Yeah.
My bad. Oh,
We
I'm
can talk for,
sorry.
like,
You know
10,
what? I'm
15
sorry.
minutes.
It's that's on me.
Do you want to rewind that decision there, Dan?
You know what?
Yeah,
I
where's
don't
your MacGuffin?
actually.
I did watch a movie earlier this morning, actually.
What'd you watch?
Okay.
So initially, we were Mari and I were gonna watch The Shape of Water.
Oh, what a good
but
one.
we couldn't get Disney Plus to work because like the streaming of it is a little like more sketchy. It seemed, I don't know why, we just couldn't get it to stream on Discord. So we just used Netflix instead. So no Shape of Water, Oscar award winning movie that is like well respected by like some of the best people in the industry.
Yeah.
And instead we watched Bird Box Barcelona.
There's another Bird Box movie?
Uh-huh.
Oh my
There's another
god.
Bird Box movie. What do you think about the first one, Noah?
I thought it was wildly overhyped.
I agree. I thought it was honestly totally fine, bordering good, but massively overhyped to the point where it was like not actually, like, it was soured for me.
There's a few things that we've like pointed at in the past where it's like the worst people you know think that this is a groundbreaking thing.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Which makes it so that you can't like enjoy it as a good thing because you're too busy like interacting with people who are like, this is the best horror movie ever. You're like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
It's good-ish. I liked it well enough. Mari liked it a lot more than I did. And then this one was just kind of like not as good, but also the same, but also from the perspective of someone who really shouldn't be the core of the narrative, even though I kind of get what they're going for. So, I don't know how much spoiler territory I want to go into because I'm pretty sure it's like new.
No, right. No,
But
it came out this year, so it's at most 7
like
months
this
old.
week. It came out like this
Oh,
week.
geez, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Mari did not like it, really. I liked it well enough, but thought it was definitely not as good as the first one. And they did, like, so many of the plot points just again.
I wish I could say I was surprised by that though.
And it's kind of hard when, like, the whole plot is, like, not only can you not see, but, like, you just can't even, like, kind of peek. Except sometimes. And that was just like the story of it. And yeah, I don't want to get too into it because there's actually like a pretty cool plot twist at one point in time. And I liked it well enough. That's my review.
Okay.
No, did you watch any movies at all?
I haven't watched anything recently, but I finally got a working copy of Silent Hill 2.
Oh, 2. That's like the one you're supposed to play, right?
Well, it's the one that pretentious Silent Hill fans say is the best one, because they don't like the one with the girl in it, and some of the like mechanical elements of the other ones make it a little bit hard to enjoy. But yeah, it's the best remembered one for sure.
Where do you place it? Do you think it's the best one?
Well, I have never played the other ones. I only know of them through the internet. I've seen video.
Oh.
But I'm enjoying it a lot. It's very interesting to me because I played The Medium a little while ago. Let me look up who made that, but I think I know. Let's see, who the hell made this? Yeah, Bloober Team made The Medium, and there were a lot of moments in this game that now that I have played Silent Hill 2, I realize, oh, they were just doing Silent Hill 2. That's kind of embarrassing on their part, but okay. But I've really been enjoying Silent Hill 2 a lot because I'm seeing the various games that have tried to mimic this thing's style. Because there's moments with some honest to God like camera angle action going on. Like, I'm sure you guys are aware, or at least will pretend to be aware for me as I tell you. The fixed camera angle of Silent Hill is kind of like one of the parts of the game. You know, it's old horror games had a camera set up in a room, and you had to navigate around that camera's placement.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the camera can rotate in Silent Hill, but it's not like you can't rotate it. It's just sometimes the camera will rotate so you can access other elements of the room. So there's a lot of like camera angles that are very hostile to you, the player. And it really sets a tone. But then there's another point where you cross between two apartment buildings and you just like climb over this like 1 foot gap that plummets down 3 stories. And there's like 3 cuts that make it look really like actually professional and clean as it follows James through into the other building. I'm having a blast with this. Even like on the front of I'm actually like unnerved by this game, which is not something I anticipated happening because generally when stuff like this happens, like I played through the entirety of the medium and I got jump scared once. And it's because it jump scared me. There were a lot of other moments where I could have been a little bit scared by it, but I never ended up having that moment because like I was appreciating how like fucked up the world looked and was just having fun with that. There was no need for me to like be afraid because I'm just having fun, you know?
Yeah.
But
I do love a jump scare though.
there's some really like I think jump scare hate is a little bit too pervasive in the
I
horror
agree.
sphere because sometimes a jump scare really does work.
And I'll say it, Insidious is good because the jump scares are good.
Yes. I would agree.
And like and also it would not be good without the jump scares.
Mhm.
Like if they didn't have that moment where like the weird little goblin creature like jumps out of the closet and runs away,
Mhm.
or like the red faced guy is right behind the dude,
Exactly.
it
Like,
would not. The movie would be not nearly as good.
no, it would never have blown up without that stuff because those were actually like good hitting moments. But so far, Silent Hill 2 has not had any moments like that. But the sound design is so oppressive. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Like, shit, dude. There are rooms that I walk into that are just eternal metallic clanging like a big chopping machine is happening. There's a TV on and there's static filling my ears. There's this undertone of like some sub-synth that is just very uncomfortable. What a good time. I don't know. It is wild to me how I feel like I've talked about this all the time, right? Like this is a very common issue for me, but oh, go figure, the thing everyone said was really really good turns out to be really really good, you know?
Could not imagine.
And I'm having that moment with Silent Hill 2. I'm having an absolute blast with just I'm what, maybe like 30% into the game, if that, judging by my knowledge of the general timeline of like events.
Mhm.
I'm not that far into it, or maybe I am. And there's just like it's just happening. It's just going. This is great. I I don't know, the tone is great. The game, obviously it's updated because I'm on PC and the game simply does not run without mods because the game is 23 years old almost, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But it looks good with minimal graphic overhauls. It's mostly just a stability and fog system because the original system had the fog so you didn't notice building pop in because it was a lot of world to render. So they just was like, oh, hide it behind the fog wall. There you go. I don't know. I'm walking around in the fog wall and it's scaring the shit out of me because it's like unnerving and you can't see anything coming. I can't rotate the camera, so I can't keep looking around myself to assuage my fears. It works.
I'm adding it to my list of games that I'm never gonna play.
Yeah. Also
It's like
on the PC, if you're playing the enhanced edition for widescreen compatibility and like a bunch of other stability fixes, you can turn off tank controls.
Tank controls?
Yeah, so tank controls are regardless of the camera angle, forward is forward on your character, back is back on the character, and if you can get used to that, cutting through different like camera angles doesn't hurt you. But if you're not used to that, it can just take a lot to get used to. Or you can turn it into standard movement controls that every other game has right now, which will maintain, like, let's say you go through a doorway that cuts to a hard opposite camera angle.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you don't touch another key, you will continue moving forward. But if you bump a turn key, then you will immediately start moving the cardinal direction that you are pointing in rather than forward on your character, stuff like that. tank
Interesting,
controls
okay.
avoid that problem, but I don't want to learn tank controls because my controller is not working, and I don't feel like learning a new system when I'm playing on mouse and keyboard.
That is reasonable to me.
But yeah, I having a good time. Definitely worth putting on your list of games that, shoot, it would be cool, but I'll never touch it.
That
Yeah, that's kind of where it lands with me. Where I don't end up wanting to play, but I enjoy watching people play,
Mm-hmm.
and especially like not necessarily in like a stream format, but like with people. You know, like a party game almost, but like a single player party game.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, like
Oh,
on
there's just
Discord or whatever.
there's really something to be, or not even that, but like, you know, 3 people get together and play all the way through Resident Evil in one night, while one person primarily games, and you all have beer and snacks and just a fun time.
I mean, that's literally what like Rob and I did with Resident Evil 8.
Mm-hmm.
Just like passed off the controller and played. And you were unable to make it, but
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna
would've
go to
been.
that, but I had COVID, so I did not.
It's true. It's unlucky. But yeah, exactly like that. Where I think that's a lot of fun, and that's where like I mentioned last week. I think I don't know if it was on podcast or not, but that's where Alien Isolation is.
Mm-hmm. I remember you
Saying
saying
if you ever
to
get
me-
the urge to play Alien Isolation, you gotta let me know first because it's a fun. It's just a fun, spooky game.
just to have fun together, watching. Oh, let's play Alien Isolation.
Yeah, they made a game where you just run away from the xenomorph in real life.
If you die in the game, it appears in real life to hunt you down again.
I'm actually very impressed. Like I know I said it already, but I'm very impressed you got to Shangri-La on that attempt.
I
Yeah,
didn't
and like,
expect it for sure.
right? Like, yeah, sure, we had our initial mistake where we ended up just getting rained out. Whatever. But like on our first true attempt, we just like everything fell into place and we got to Shangri-La.
And once you realized you couldn't escape the guy,
Yeah,
that
right.
Mr. Runal was going to be with you.
Mm-hmm. God, I love that so much.
It's
You
really
just have to
funny.
accept it.
He, Mr. Renal is always with us.
Thanks, Mr. Renal.
He lives in you. He lives in me. This was a good. I truly do. I feel bad that like I poo-pooed the idea so badly.
I mean, I
I
definitely-
feel like you weren't that hard against it though.
I was quieter about how hard I was against it. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, because you weren't like vocally like it's stupid. No, you were just more of like a maybe.
Yeah,
I didn't know you were such a hater of it.
I was kind of a hater.
Where do you stand now?
Still a hater, but less so.
Understandable. Dan's just mad because my decisive leadership led us directly to Shangri-La.
I mean,
So
a
true,
little,
actually.
yeah. Pretty frustrating.
You guys ever play Layers of Fear? Speaking of horror video games.
No.
Did not.
Layers of Fear is a fun game. Half a sec. You can, let's see. You can get through the game somewhere between 8 and 12 hours. So in theory, it's one of those games that you can do either in a single long like marathon or oh, this has to be wrong. 3.5 hours? No. Okay, maybe it is a game that you can just beat in one go. Yeah, it's a game that you can hit in one sitting if you aren't doing completionist stuff.
Yeah, I've never even heard of this. Well, it also came out June 15th, 2023, but it looks like it's a remake.
Yeah, that's the remake.
sort.
Layers of Fear 2016 is the one I'm talking about. Edge played it back when it first came out and had a blast with it. So I decided to actually end up checking it out. And it turns out it's actually a very enjoyable little experience.
Nice.
I don't know, I
Yeah,
think
and
that
the
would be
name
another,
sounds familiar.
I think it would be another fun dudes get together, have a game kind of thing. I think even Dan might enjoy it well enough in that regard.
Bold of you to assume.
I completed half the objectives in 4.4 hours. I was trying to be a completionist and I messed up. So, but I also think that being a completionist does kind of require a second playthrough.
Oh yeah, almost always.
Oh, yeah. One of the achievements is gaze at paintings for a total of 1 hour.
That's really funny.
And it counts. Oh my God. It's like 148.40620442236 328 out of 3,600.
It really counts, huh?
It really
It really do
counts.
be counting.
I don't. What is 3600? 3600 what?
Seconds?
Is that how many seconds there are in an hour?
Yeah.
I only looked at paintings for 148 seconds? No
It's not
shit.
that many seconds. That's like 2 minutes.
That's not that much at all, considering the world is like covered. Holy shit,
When
oh my
it didn't say
god.
look, it said gaze.
Okay, it did say gaze, but it's clearly counting every time I like panned over pictures and looked for at least a second. But as I'm saying this, my bathroom door opened itself of its own volition and just
Spooky.
scared the shit out of me because I'm talking about like, oh, in this horror game, I didn't look at paintings long enough, and then suddenly the door just opens.
That's really. I love that shit, and by love I mean hate it very much. But it's very funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't played a lot of horror games in a while. I kind of want to play like it's not a horror game, but like a Subnautica type horror game.
There's a couple of them
Subnautica.
out there now.
Dan, you played Subnautica, right?
I sure did. I did not
I-
finish it because I just didn't. Like, I don't have a good reason.
I know I never wanted to touch it because I am dead terrified of the open ocean.
That's a good reason to not touch it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, me too, but that's why I think it's a horror game.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a really good reason.
I mean, my issue is bad enough that in Sea of Thieves, when you get attacked by the Kraken, I like verge on panic attack because if I get tossed in the water, it is inky black and you can't see anything. So you
That's-
just get
yeah.
lost in a void. Even looking down, if you're in the water in Sea of Thieves and you look down too much, that freaks me out.
Yeah, I don't think you should. I don't think you should.
I think I could get past it with Subnautica, but I don't want to try.
Yeah, I think that's a lot to ask of you.
I think so. But, you know, I am the guy that just platinumed Dredge in a grand total of 16 hours, so not to brag.
That's true. So clearly,
You
it's
know,
not
I
that
also I feel like Iron Lung is kind of in that vein too
bad.
lately. but-
Iron Lung actually.
Oh, Iron Lung,
Oh.
yeah, a lot of people seem to be liking that.
I just like that one. I feel like it's too less like Subnautica. Where like I want something where like I can actually see the ocean a little bit, but not too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Iron Lung is like you don't see it at all.
Yeah, it's the fear of being trapped in the water versus anything else. I actually, here's a little light flex moment. I do know the guy that made Iron Lung.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I used
David
to be
Szymanski?
friends with his wife.
Wild.
David
Oh, really?
Szymanski. Yeah. He actually had a booth at the one what did we go to?
PAX.
PAX. Yeah, he had a booth at PAX for a game that he worked on. His wife was there and said, "Oh, hey, come by and say hi." And I went by and she wasn't there, so I didn't. But yeah.
What an odd like connection point.
Yeah, I don't think he knows me, but I do know him, and I just think it's one of those things where I ended up following him on Twitter just because it's like, oh, it's kind of cool to see someone I tangentially know every now and then, and yeah, it's kind of fun.
What a tiny world.
Yeah, South Scrimshaw is another one that is free, but I think it's more a visual novel about a whale in an alien ocean. It's an alien whale.
Oh, those alien whales.
Goddamn alien
So, like,
whales.
It's like a little less of my like it's a visual novel,
Mm.
but yeah, I just want like a scary ocean game, but not too scary.
Mhm.
Can't be too scary.
Like how much power do you have in Subnautica? Like how like safe can you be?
Never as safe as you want.
Yeah, but like if you get eaten by like a big shark or by the Leviathan, you're fine, right? Like you can just respawn,
I don't.
or is it just like
I-
everything's gone forever and you gotta restart?
You don't restart like from scratch. That I know. But you do. There is like a lot of things you can lose if that happens. I don't remember that well actually what the death consequences are. After a certain point, I think I died like twice maybe when I was playing, and then I got really paranoid and didn't do anything that would possibly put me in danger.
Ah, so that means you kind of stopped playing the game.
Yeah, did I? So I said I didn't finish it
Precisely.
because yeah, boy. You know what? I don't have a fear of the ocean, like really at all. Except for
I-
when playing that game.
Yeah, I don't have a fear of the ocean much, but like I have a fear of like being alone in the ocean with like a monster. Like, duh.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that because like I think for a lot of people it really does trigger. Like for Noah, it would absolutely trigger his thalassophobia.
Mhm.
But like I also think that like any reasonable person would not want to know there's like my engagement with Subnautica is closer to Noah's engagement with Silent Hill, right? Like it's more spooky because I know that there is something out there in that water and I can't see it than it is that like I'm scared of the thing itself. If that makes any sense.
No, I believe you. Makes sense.
I think we lost Noah.
No, I'm still here.
Oh,
About
okay.
time.
I just thought you'd weigh in. You'd say
I
you'd
mean,
have an opinion.
I could say, well, actually, that's not my experience with Silent Hill entirely. I think that you're lightly misreading, but that
Thank
is
you.
kind of
So
what I
true.
said. So,
Thank you. Thank you for giving me what I needed.
no problem. I'm gonna do some housekeeping notes here, just for everybody, because I've been putting the episode countdown in the titles, and I did get a question last week. So does that mean 2 more episodes? Does that mean this and 1 more episode and that's it? No. What that meant is there are 2 more episodes after the episode. So this is our next to last episode of Ye Old Podcast. The June, no, I'm sorry, not June. I'm an idiot. July 27th will be the last day an episode is posted. So yeah, that's going to be the end of it. Is
We're so close and yet so
next
far away.
week, right?
No, we're recording next week, but the last episode is not coming out the same day, is it?
I meant next week from this episode's release.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Sorry. I'm talking to the listeners right now, Dan. I'm not talking to you. Talking to the listeners here.
Listen, I hardly knew her.
So if you guys, I guess this actually would be a little bit late, but if you guys have any like all-time clips or something that like are favorite moments that you'd like to bring up, or like us to bring up, I should say, you'll have a few days between the dropping of this episode and the recording of the final episode. So, you got some time.
Yeah.
So yeah, just let us know if there's anything that really stuck out to you as an all-time hitter. I went on the wiki and had a few moments of good memory on that one. Every now and then I do forget that I had the one episode where I drank 13 shots of gin.
Don't let him ever forget that.
What a moment.
I forget that too.
This is my request of the audience is don't let him forget.
So I'm not going to do that for the last episode because I want to take it a little bit more seriously than that.
Because you want to remember it.
Yeah, kind of, pretty much. But if there's anything that you guys specifically have like big memories of, do please feel free to let us know so that we can talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, see y'all next week. The final countdown. Do.
Yeah.
Do.
And whatnot. Yeah.